Hello and welcome back to another glorious Thursday Random Thoughts News. My name is Elay, pronounced like LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. The first topic of choice is ding, whichever way the picture's going to be placed after this is done. This way or that way. We're going to be talking about the U.S. Postal Service. Thanks goes out to CBS Mornings. I call it Gale and Friends, but it's also known as CBS Mornings. The first story I will be referring to is from CBS Mornings. It's the story they cover, which is called Post Office Place in America. Post Office Place in America. The video article / title caption is as follows. Will the U.S. Postal Service be a part of our future the way it's been a part of our past? ? Under the big bold letters, there are more words written in smaller letters that read, as the U.S. Postal Service faces tough competition and a shrinking budget, Tony Dokoupil. How can anybody say that last name with a straight face? Take two, non-editing. Tony Dokoupil look at what, I'm messing up, y'all. Let's start over. As the U.S. Postal Service faces tough competition and a shrinking budget, Tony Dokoupil looks at what role the post office still has in the modern world. Thank you, Tony Dokoupil, for covering this cool story. I'm a fan of the snail mail to this day and would rather it. Snail mail, for those of you who don't know, is about the story we're covering where people actually hand wrote letters, just like Gail said today in Good Morning. The CBS this morning, you hand write a letter you put it in the envelope, you get a stamp and you place it on and you send it in the mail. Wait several days later, then the person you're sending your letter to gets it in what is called a mailbox, a physical mailbox, not an email. I prefer snail mail. We have a P.O. box here at elaytv LLC. It's down in the description. Feel free to write me a snail mail letter. I much prefer that because I can be more personalized when I'm responding to you. Back to topic. CBS Morning's Tony Dokoupil starts his story in a town that is small. Smallsville, where Clark Kent was born. I'm just kidding. The small town is called Alplaus, New York. It's spelled Alplaus. Alplaus, New York. Less than 500 wonderful people live there. So you can see, it is one of the biggest reasons as to why this tiny little town cherished their P.O. boxes and the daily trips to their local post office so much. Not only was it a place that delivered resources, it was more importantly a social point of gathering and fellowship. Now the once beautiful standing house that looked like it was turned into a post office is a tiny little insignificant gazebo. Come on, guys. Really, a stupid gazebo? My question is, why didn't they just keep the house up? It's at least they could do. Why tear down the town's symbolic sense of representation of happiness? CBS Morning Tony Dokoupil said that during the news presentation that the loss of their post office had left the tiny little town with a sense of sadness. And it did make me sad listening to that story and all the people involved. Included in this news story is a picture of a few of the small town citizens that volunteered to talk to CBS this morning, Tony Dokoupil. They are gathered around telling him how the change, meaning the removal of the local post office, has changed the lives of the community. As now, they had to get into their vehicles, travel ways just to go to the next post office. The Alplaus community discussed how it's not the same anymore, and that the distance puts a damper on their camaraderie. According to SaveThePostOffice.com, there is an article called Closing the Smalltown Alplaus, New York Post Office inspires movie starring Karen Allen as postmaster. By the way, for you who do not know, Karen Allen is not Karen that we call today, and we're a real actress who goes by her stage name, well, I think her real name, Karen Allen, and she is starred in Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981. Well, she's starring in the movie here. Here's a picture of the post office. It's a more clearer picture. The article continues on proudly stating that Alplaus did not lose its community identity when the post office closed nearly 10 years ago. Further in the article, it reads Alplaus has only a few hundred residents and no restaurants or cafes. So the post office was there and it got people together. There's an independent movie out about this small town, and it's called Colwell. Colewell. More details about this town are shared and mentioned in this film. The links will be provided below in the description so you can see and check out the articles I referenced about the post office calamity and the indie movie that makes a reference, well, an indie movie that is all about this town we're talking about. Thank you for your time. We're going to go to a commercial. Are we on yet? Hi. I was just asking them if they can get me my coffee in between the commercial, but it's obviously my staff is too late. As Molly liked to say on First Take on ESPN, it's Friday Junior, and I think Gail King says it too. So it's Friday Junior here at the elaytv studios production building, and my staff is already on Friday, so it's hard to get a coffee around here when I need it. I'm really thinking about budget cuts, my husband and I are, and the staff might be the first to go. If you guys, sometimes you just have to let the world in on what's going on. To the next story in Thursday's Random Thoughts News. Thank you for coming back to the show. And if you are new to the show or channel, welcome. And thank you for pressing that subscribe button, because you know it doesn't take anything but a push to show you care. Next and final story we are going to get into is the arena of sports. It has something to do with the new allegations, going on in the NFL arena. Regarding, you might wonder, well, it's regarding, according to NFL.com, that former Miami Dolphins coach Brian Flores, spoke publicly for the first time since suing the NFL and 3 of its teams, alleging a pattern of racist hiring practices by the league and other forms of racial discrimination. Who is Brian Flores, you might ask? Good question. Well, according to Wikipedia.com, Brian Flores is an American football coach in the National Football League. He began his NFL career with the New England Patriots, where he served as an assistant coach from 2008 to 2018. Also, to make an already impending matter worse with this Brian Flores situation, again, according to the article written from NFL.com, it reads something like, Paraphrasing the article per additional Brian Flores allegations, it says Brian Flores alleges that Dolphins team owner Stephen Ross told him, Flores, that if he lost some football games under his watch, the watch of Flores, that he, Stephen the Dolphin guy, will pay Flores $100,000 for every loss during the coach's first season because he wanted the club to tank so he could get to the top pick in the 2020 NFL draft. Sounds fishy. Those are some mighty powerful allegations to be alleging for the sake of Mr. Brian Flores. I just hope those allegations check out. Well, good luck to him, Brian Flores, on this one and that one, meaning the allegations. God's willing and Godspeed. This is LA, pronounced like LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Signing off. Have a good night. Happy Friday, Junior, and happy Friday. I will see you tomorrow with another Epic Fusion Friday on our platform. Check us out at midnight to see which song will be featured on elaytv's Fusion Friday.